Haere mai e te whānau. Welcome to the Flight of the Nix podcast. My name's Holly. I'm on Gadigal land in Sydney. In Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, we have both Erin and Denise. Welcome back. We're going to chat about the women today.
Great to be here, Holly.
Oh my God.
Even if it's in evil land.
Evil Jaffa land. Erin has to live there all the time. All right. Look, I'm super stoked to talk about the women's season. I'm very excited about the women's team. Let's start out with a squad list. The list we have is in jersey order, not in position order, but we have Victoria Essen, CJ Bott, Tiana Jaber, Mackenzie Barry, Ellie Walker, Tessa Mittal, Grace Shelley, Macy Fraser, Sabrita Bandari, Samba, Alyssa Winham, Mania Elliott, Ella McMillan, Brooke Neary, Lucia Leon, Daisy Brazendale, Marisa Vandermeer, Ella Jerez, Ella McCann, Olivia Ingham, Emma Main, Lara Wall, Amy Danieli, Pia Vlock, Harriet Muller, Lily Brazendale, plus whoever comes in from the academy side. Our coaches are Bev Priestman, Amy Shepherd, and Tori Schutgen. Tori has also just been appointed the head of the Women's Academy coaching team. Let's just rest on the main signings for this season. We'll start with our visa players. That is Samba from Nepal, Ellie Walker from the US. From the Netherlands, we have Tessa Mittal, Lucia Leon from the Dominican Republic, also played for the Spain under-23s, which is pretty cool. We also have two high-profile New Zealand signings. That is Vic Essen, who will be our starting keeper, and CJ Bott, who is the New Zealand starting right back. So much to talk about. Denise, you were keen to start from the top. Let's chat about Bev Priestman. Massive coaching signing, colossal coaching signing. How do you feel about that one?
Complicated, but very excited. To say the obvious, she's taken a big step down to be with the Phoenix, but it is a rebuilding step for her. She did have beginnings in New Zealand. Didn't she run, wasn't she what was her exact position? It was director of football development back in 2009 to 2013 of New Zealand. So she has New Zealand, roots. She does know the place. And I'm excited to see her just try and, reestablish her reputation, push some time between, what happened and who she is now. She's still a really good coach. Now, the interesting thing is she's never really been a club coach. Back when she was the assistant coach of England with Phil Neville. I mean, that was a really strange signing, the whole Phil Neville thing many years ago. And she was his number two. That's who they put with him so that they could do well. And, someone who didn't have any coaching experience, they put Bev with him. And then she moved on to Canada. And she really, she brings a real strategic, flexible sort of way of kind of setting up. She really thinks about what's going to happen in the game and thinks about the other team, not just this is what we do. I saw her play USA, she's just, she came onto the national coaching scene as really super cool. And now she's with the Phoenix, and I still think it's one of the biggest stories of the league right now to have such a quality coach. And I think the Phoenix really nabbed her. I mean, there's probably personal reasons that she was a good fit for the Wellington Phoenix, but also, the Phoenix have really good facilities. They are kind of top level when it comes to, if you want to put a really good team together, guess what? You have the ingredients right here in Wellington, or the Upper Hutt. So, I'm excited to see if she can make this team. Like, the Knicks have always started out pretty well, but then kind of took a woo nosedive towards the end of the season. So I think these players will play for her, and hopefully consistently. I think she can keep the culture up, um, and I'm just excited to see what she can do with a talented group that's come in.
I mean, if there's one thing you need to know about me is that I like to hold a grudge, and I will hold a grudge for a long time. So the signing for me is quite controversial, and I get it. You've got an Olympics winning coach, a gold medalist, coming to coach our little Nix down here at the bottom of the world, and you know sh- she's a good coach, and I think that she should bring this level of kind of professionalism and skill to the team that we potentially were lacking from the other coaches to just really help build this team to be a successful one. We've had the players to do well the past few seasons, but we just haven't executed it. And so I'm expecting Bev to be able to come in and tie that all together and make this a championship team. And I think potentially her experiences with a national team might be beneficial because for a national team, they kind of just come together quickly and, you just have to play and perform and then you don't see each other for months. And potentially with the kind of short pre-seasons we have, she might find a way to quickly gel a team and to kind of get them where they need to be as soon as possible so that, we can start the season from that first game, I guess from the second game, since we have a bye, from the second game already in, that 100% fully gelled winning team. I think last season it took us until Unite round to get our first win. And we didn't do bad leading up to it. I think we were getting some draws, but we just weren't getting the wins. And it just took too long for us to kind of get into it. And then we obviously lose our form a bit when we go over to Australia. We haven't been able to play well. And so I'm hoping that she comes in with a new tactic to help us figure that out and to help us get points home and away and from the start and right through to the end. And coaches this team to be a finals team as well. If she's she's coached teams through Olympic finals, through these big matches, and I have a feeling we are going to have quite a few big matches this season that I hope that experience kind of shines through and takes us to the trophies.
I have to say, I am also holding a bit of a grudge against Canada soccer from those Olympics, and I still feel a little bit angry that Canada was just docked points rather than points being awarded to New Zealand or Canada being able to play but not progress. So I do have to say a little bit ambivalent about that. What I've kind of seen this as if you really want to sort of stretch your Kiwi one-eyed imagination, in a way this is reparations. Now I'm sure that Bev isn't looking at it as reparations and that the Knicks aren't looking at it as reparations, but for me, in a way, you know what, she comes back and she makes it good with women's football in New Zealand. She's clearly an extremely high caliber coach, and we have, out of any of our years in the A-League, and potentially even for some to come, we have a really good chance of being very successful this season. So that's really, really exciting to have Bev. She's very vocal on the sideline. We've discovered to the point of it seemed like she was losing her voice at one point in a friendly that I attended yesterday. She's a massive win, and Amy and Tori as her backups, they're amazing as well. How about the imports that we've signed and the two high-profile Ferns?
Before we move on, I'm just absolutely thrilled that you're still mad because I'm kind of still mad. And I was like, okay, I got to get it together for this podcast. I got to not feel this way. But yeah, I mean, I was, I also just thought, like, how would you feel? I mean, I have Mackenzie Berry on tonight. Like, how would you feel if you were, at these, Olympics, and you had a little spy camera over you, and in comes the coach who maybe not started the spy program, but definitely knew about it. Like, that would be awkward. And I'm sure do you think they even discussed it?
I think they've asked the players, and the players are just like, "Oh, we don't really care about it." But I was like, you feel like you have to say that. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're media trained. If I that's probably why. Well, that's one of the reasons. Because I've got no skill, but that's probably one of the reasons why I could never make it, because I feel like I would absolutely not be able to hold my tongue for that kind of situation. But for me, I think I really want the season to kind of focus on the team and on the players that we have, and how they can be successful, rather than a lot of the marketing being around her kind of being the coach. I think that if she kind of does the job silently, then I'll forgive her. But if she's kind of the spotlight for it, and it's kind of taking it away off the work that the players do, that the players have put in, and the team and how they've managed to perform, away from home and everything against, compared to what they've done previous seasons, then yeah, I just think that the focus needs to be on the team and on the players, and marketing the players, rather than on the coach who is.
100%. I think this is just preseason talk, and we can sort of enjoy the irony of it all.
So to skip back, who are you most excited to see in terms of, or do you want to talk about anyone in particular from those visa signings and major firm signings?
Quite excited by most of those players. I think I'm quite excited to see how Samba goes. She's got this huge goal scoring record behind her for the national team, and she seems to be basically a national treasure for Nepal. Every single post you see is just like, "Where's Samba? Post a picture of Samba," and it's a picture of the boys' academy, and they're like, "Samba, where's Samba?" So I'm quite excited that they're excited, and I really want to see how she kind of comes out firing, and if she's scoring bangers left, right, and centre. I'm also quite excited to see Tessel play. From what I heard from the Phoenix Open days, that she's just an absolute baller. She kind of seems like she's a leader of the team. Potentially, will even be the captain. I'm not sure who captain on the weekend, but she seems like someone who could actually just control this field, and keep people reined in, and playing for that full 90 minutes. I think a few times last season we got caught out in the 80th plus. We'd concede late goals, and lose all 3 points. And so I'm hoping that she's someone who can not only be a skillful player who can help assist in that matter, but just be a leader and help keep everyone focused up. Don't really know much about Ali Walker, but I'm sure she's great. I think we've had some success in the past with our American signings, and so she's probably the same. So hope she plays well when she plays. And then I think as well with Leon from Adelaide, I think it's a massive coup for us to be able to pinch a player from another team like that. I'd like to say that we spec-mired her, because Adelaide were offering her another contract, and we got in and swooped her. And I think that's a huge testament to the Wellington Phoenix and the facilities we have, and potentially, whatever other factors that we could come in and pull a player like that who has proven herself to be very good in the A-League. She scored against us a few times as well, and so it's nice to not have her on the other side for once.
Holly, who do you have your eye on?
Yeah, so I actually perhaps should have started with a rundown of the friendly that was here in Blacktown yesterday. It was against Central Coast Mariners. We lost 2-1. Goals to Peter Trimis and Izzy Gomez. The scorer for us was Samba. I was impressed with just impressed, full stop. I really think the Mariners had almost nothing for the entire first half. We absolutely dominated the game, and we came quite close a number of times to scoring. That didn't last into the second half, unfortunately, and Mariners scored 2 goals. We managed to peg one back through Samba, a nice ball from the left wing. She tucks that away tidily, but I actually am really excited about how we played. So you're right, Tess is a very like a controlling player. She played defensive mid, and then when Mac Barry came off, Mac copped a knock to the head, which we hope isn't anything serious. She dropped into the centre mid. Ali Walker seems to be comfortable either as a right back or a centre back. She and Marisa van der Meer swapped a few times there. Leon is a force of nature down that right hand wing. Let's see, Sampa with a goal, of course. Vic Essen just calm and confident on the ball. CJ did not play yesterday. She's coming back from a concussion, which we hope clears itself up soon. So yeah, all of those players I'm excited about, all of them, and plus our sort of quote unquote domestic or former Nix players.
Did Macy Fraser play?
She did not. Neither did Tiana Jaber, who's recovering from an ankle injury. There's a few people who didn't play. They're playing, I think, Wanderers on Friday evening, so I'm going to go and see that. And so there may be some players who get time on the pitch that didn't this week.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by Macy Fraser coming back to, she originally was signed for a 3-year deal. She made this big sort of move to the NWSL. She had a bit of a weird time there. Her coach, Amy Rodriguez, a famous U.S. women's national team player, everyone's psyched she was coaching. Well, they kind of like farted it up. They played well, but they just simply didn't win. And so Amy Rodriguez was fired. And I feel like when she was fired and they got another coach in from Belgium, Macy Fraser was a little bit lost because she was a piece of a puzzle that was thought about by the previous coach. And then he moved her out to the wing, and she never got the playing time. She never got the flow. And what she probably got was most NWSL teams are really fit. You have to run a lot, and she grew up, and probably matured into a more resilient kind of player. And so I'm curious to see, the Phoenix have re-signed her for another 3 years. Like, that's 3 years is a long time. They're making her one of their feature players. So I'm curious to see how she does this season. If she was amazing before she left, but I'm hoping she even steps it up further.
Let me have a think.
That's okay. Look, I mean,
Just I think on Tiana Jaber, I'm pretty sure she broke her leg.
Ooh. Yeah, she did.
Ooh. She did, yeah. So she broke her leg when she was playing for Lebanon, and that's, I guess, probably why she's not playing now. I'm not sure how long she's still got left on that recovery, but yeah, probably quite nasty. But I guess, yeah, I'm excited to see Vic Essen back in goal. I think Villau last year was a pretty solid goalkeeper, but to have a high quality goalkeeper who is a Kiwi, not be a visa player, is good for the Phoenix, because it means that we still have that free visa spot where, the coaching team have, a lot of time now to find the perfect fit for what we're missing. And, we'd hope that these preseason games we're having, they can kind of see where we potentially might need extra reinforcements and, find someone who really fits that mold and takes us to an even higher level than I think we already are. So good to see us get a high quality goalkeeper who is not a visa player.
I actually saw that Bree Edwards went to Western Sydney Wanderers. Yeah, I mean, I hope she finds playing time and a good home.
Yeah, it was a mess for her last season. She was signed as their number one keeper, but never really got played as their number one keeper.
So speaking of the A-league as a general thing, I mean, what do you now that this league has been going on for, what are we on, the fifth year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth year, I think. For the Knicks, what have you enjoyed? Like, what do you like about the league? What do you not like about the league as far from a Knicks lens? Just a big wide open question here.
I like that we've just gotten better and better each season. I think that's been really good to see for me. I think you can see that the club is putting resources behind the team. I've kind of seen a lot of the other A-League women's teams not have that kind of support from their clubs. I think Western Sydney Wanderers is one of these examples. But yeah, there's a lot of teams that just haven't been putting any promo into their women's teams. I don't even think some of the teams have a full team at this stage because they haven't announced any players. But to see that the Wellington Phoenix got in really early with a lot of their signings, and we kind of had a full fleshed out squad before anyone even thought about the season, was a really good sign for me that we're keen to take it to them this year and to win things and go out strong. And I just really hope that we do that.
I think the dub's been going on for a while now, and we've only just had a team for 5 years, and obviously that's been great, but there has been sort of up and downs in the league. Obviously, Western United have dropped out, which is a huge concern and does mean 2 fewer games this season for everybody, which is a real disappointment to see. Obviously, the men's team also put into hibernation for Western United. So there's kind of been a step back, and also the fact that Auckland and Macarthur are nowhere near getting their team. Also quite a bit of disappointment.
I am happy to see that they've extended the preseason as well. I think the league's given them an extra week or so, or maybe the club at least has given them an extra week on their contract, so it gives them more time to come in and work as a team and get ready for the season. And I think having maybe a bye first round as well gives us that extra week on top of everyone else to just sort out what we're doing and sort out our game plan and come into the season from the first game winning.
Yeah, it's still a rough league for the Knicks, especially because there's not another team in New Zealand. It's so much travel for them. For every other team coming to New Zealand, it's kind of fun and cute. Oh, let's go to New Zealand. But, for the Knicks, I mean, it's a lot of travel. And I think it has weared on them in the past few seasons. Sometimes it makes them gel. Sometimes it makes them kind of go, oh, this is a lot. And, Australia's hot. There's nothing we can do about that. And that's fine. But it is something that if you're a coach, you really have to plan around. Like you have to have sleep plans, you have to have hydration plans, you have to figure all that stuff out in a different kind of way if you're the Wellington Phoenix. And hopefully they do. Hey, next to the all-important topic, what do you think of the new kits?
I think they're a bit meh. I don't think that they're different really. There's just the sort of, it seems to be a copy paste of like quite a lot of kits we've had in the past. I don't think there's anything new about them. Yesterday, the players were wearing for preseason this. It looks like a very basic yellow kit, but the tohu on it was all white. It was beautiful, much better than what we're going to be wearing. But look, last season there was a lot of upset about our lack of stripes, and I definitely agree. The pinstripes that were supposed to be a lot more prominent on the kits were not as prominent as they should have been. So I understand why people were unhappy with those. I am not dying to get out and buy one. Erin, how do you feel?
I think they look clean. I think they look really nice and very phoenixy, which I enjoy. I think they've kind of gone a bit bit random the past few seasons. Like, they've tried new things, but I don't really think they've hit. But I think this one, it just kind of goes back to the classic black and yellow stripes. I think the women's kit in particular looks really nice with the branding. I think the men's one looks a little bit goofy with the Entler logo being in color. So if I'd probably cop the women's kit, but I think it just looks nice, and it's going to look nice in the videos, in the coverage, the media shoot they did. They all looked pretty good in the kit with the black shorts and the black socks as well. I just hope that they don't pull off one of those ugly kits that they did the other season where they had like a full yellow shirt and then the black socks and then that was horrendous. So I think this one at least would look nice against most of the teams we play.
Yeah, it's kind of a throwback to the very first season. A little bit more designed in the black, major stripes, pinstripe thing. Yeah, I kind of like feel both of you. I'm like, yes, Holly. Yes, Erin, you're both right. Yeah. Anyway.
Before we hit up with the prediction of the table, let's talk about the very first match that we're going to have. So we have a bye the first week. The first match back is home at Sky Stadium, 4 p.m. New Zealand time, Saturday, November the 8th. Now, this one's a little bit controversial. It's a double header with the men. Now, I don't have a problem with double headers generally. The issue is that the men's match is a derby. It's the derby against Jaffa FC. It's at 7 p.m. And I've already heard a lot of people, like the diehards from the Fever that do support both teams, feeling a little bit concerned about somehow watching the full women's match and then being able to leave the stadium to participate in the march to the stadium for the men's derby. I don't understand why it's been organised this way. I mean, you could have at least had the game time switched around so that people could just stay in the stadium. I'd like to think that we can beat Canberra, especially if we do have people sticking around. Erin, how are you feeling? I don't know how many, you've been to double headers before. How are you feeling about the timing of this one?
Yeah, I have mixed opinions about double headers. I see when they work. I do like it if it's a double header and it's the same men's and women's teams playing. Then it's kind of like if you're an away team, if you're an away fan, you can come over and watch your team twice. Kind of makes it worthwhile. I've been to double headers when they've been in Auckland, which has been great for me. But this one I think just misses the mark a little bit. I think this is kind of two occasions that they should have celebrated separately. You have the women's first game of the season, brand new team, brand new coach, kind of new philosophy, talking about how, we're back at the fortress and everything. And then we're playing it at not even at our home stadium, at, a big stadium where people are there for the derby. And I think that the derby should be left as its own occasion in itself. And the women should have had a separate game for this. I think it's kind of a silly decision, but also I will be there because if I'm traveling down to Wellington, I want to make it worthwhile and go to both games. After saying all that, I am going and it's convenient for me. So yay for the double header, but I think that it's kind of done the women's team a little bit dirty. But I do think we can beat Canberra. I think we've had a pretty good track record against Canberra. I think we've beaten them like 6-0 on occasion or so. So hopefully that we get that kind of Canberra Nix game and not the other ones where Michelle Heyman comes out cooking and hits a top corner every single time. So I think that we could win this, and I think it's a good first game for us. And I'm excited to see the new team play.
Yeah, there's no more that I can add. Erin, you nailed it.
All right, then let's move to table predictions. We always feel like worried that Alex, our production person, is going to clip in last year's table predictions and how bad they were. I'm excited every time. Every season, I'm very excited. I think this will be one of our best chances of doing extremely well for quite a long time, potentially, with a high caliber coach. great squad. Let's win it all, man. For the double. Let's go.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like Christmas Eve. You can see the shapes of the presents that are there, but you don't quite know what you're going to get. And, you want it to be like the best Christmas ever. So, listen, we're supporters. Why not go with the best Christmas ever?
Yeah, I agree. We're winning the lot. We're going to be premiers and we're going to be champions. Samba's going to be golden boot. Issa's going to be golden glove, and you're going to have Tessa who gets the Julie Dolan medal. And we're going to just have a clean sweep of everything, and we're going to bring home all we can. We're going to bring an empty suitcase over to Australia, and we're going to pack it to the rafters. But also saying that, Melbourne Victory are looking very, very scary.
Nah, fuck them. Hey, look, they got Zoe McMeekin, all right, fair enough, but they got nothing on us, mate. They did take Zoe. Chaos Merchant, number 1. I don't think it's enough. They've lost Chidiac. Chidiac's playing overseas now. They're nowhere near as strong without her. Now, let's do the double, man. Comments below, just let us know where you think we're going to be, what you think the shape of the presents are going to be. I love that metaphor, Denise. Like, subscribe, all that, and we always love to know what you think. All right, everyone, let's go. Matawa.